So I'm not Ben, my name's Andrew, and my wife Alana and I, and actually our daughter Eliana, are some of the people that the sanctuary has sent out to proclaim Christ overseas and to minister in a different country. Right now we're back from Turkey, which is where we were for a couple years as I studied counseling at Wheaton Grad School. I want to start out this morning by saying Happy Thanksgiving. I know this is kind of an exciting time for a lot of us, especially probably the kids that are with us. You get some time off school. Some of you had some time off work. Hopefully you had your fill of turkey, football. Maybe some of you ventured out Friday morning. Can we just take a survey? Who ventured out Friday morning to do the craziness? Wow. I don't know if I should respect you or just, I don't know. It's crazy. A lot went out Friday too, though. And the way I see it, like, now that Thanksgiving's over, we can all look forward to Christmas, which is a good thing. Right, kids? Christmas? Thank you. Okay. But you know, I also know that this past weekend may have been very difficult for some of you. Because some of you may have celebrated without somebody who's very special. And, you know, maybe Black Friday for some of you was a reminder that there's not going to be a lot of presents under the tree this year. And for the past couple weeks, we've been talking about the cave and life's cave experiences, life's difficult experiences. And this morning, what I want to do is I want to continue talking about that, but continue talking about it in light of being thankful. And just from the outset, I just want to acknowledge that that's not an easy thing to talk about. You know, often around Thanksgiving, we hear sermons that talk about verses like 1 Thessalonians 5:18. Sorry. There it is. Okay. 1 Thessalonians 5:18. Give thanks in all circumstances. You know, a lot of times this serves as a reminder for us to be thankful for the things that we have. We're thankful for food. We're thankful for the house that we live in. We're thankful for health. We're thankful for family, financial stability. We're thankful for all these things. And this is actually a really good reminder because a lot of times, especially in times of plenty, we tend to take these things for granted. But my question is, what if the slide looks different? Can we go back? There we go. Okay. Sorry, I'm getting used to this system. What if money's tight this year? What if you're out of work? What if your house has been foreclosed on? What if you suffer from chronic pain or illness? What if you've lost a loved one? In the face of these and similar difficult circumstances, giving thanks, to me, it's not just hard. It almost seems unreasonable. You know, during the last 4 years, my wife Alana and I have been in Turkey. And while we were in Turkey, we had a very difficult cave experience. And it was a time that personally I found it very difficult to give thanks. And so my slide would have looked a little something like this. You know, we set out for Turkey in 2006, and personally I had been preparing to serve Christ overseas for like 8 years. And so here we were finally boarding the plane, getting ready to go. And it was a time of excitement. But as soon as we got there, like stepping off the plane, we were faced with a lot of really difficult challenges. First thing, we didn't speak Turkish. We couldn't count to 10. And that's hard. You know, we started to learn language. We did some classes. We started with a tutor. But we found ourselves trying to carry out the tasks of normal life, like buying groceries, going to the bank, paying bills, and we knew just a few words and had a dictionary. And so then, when times of crises arose, like when Alana's purse was stolen, we felt very helpless. You know, we also experienced the shock of being in a very different culture. All of a sudden, we were the outsiders. We were the people that get stared at, sometimes pointed at. We were the people that occasionally get taken advantage of because we're different. We had to learn a whole new set of rules about how men and women interact. We basically had to relearn how to cross the street. So cultural differences. We experienced isolation. We were literally thousands of miles from friends and family. And then came the shattered dreams. And our team, in order to operate in Turkey, we had this plan, this strategy of establishing a business that would give us an identity in the country, in society, and give us a place to meet people. And God seemed to just give us this vision. He seemed to be like leading the charge, opening one door after the other just in time. And just as our shop that we were about to open, a few weeks from opening, and all of a sudden, our world started caving in around us. And in the end of it, I'm not going to give you the whole story, but in the end of it, our shop was basically destroyed by the local government in a conspiracy with our neighbors. And this led to struggles with identity, because we couldn't be in the country as Christian workers. We couldn't be there as missionaries. And so we had to be there as something else, but all of a sudden our professional identity was just like wiped out. On top of that, the cultural and language challenges, it basically wiped away everything about me that I felt was about me. I couldn't be funny, I couldn't talk to people, I couldn't be smart. And so I was essentially reduced to a 2-year-old in my ability to communicate with people. And finally, we ended up very lonely. This isolation, this loss of identity, it left me so down, like I didn't even want to leave the house some days. But then on top of that, the difficulties that we experienced as a team led to interpersonal conflict. Our relationships fractured, and we suffered a lot of friendly fire. And in the end, the majority of our team left. And the one thing I didn't mention was that most of this took place in our second year of marriage. So I was hesitant today to go there, to talk about my personal experience. Because I don't want today to be about me. I don't want the focus to be on me and how hard we had it. But I want you to know that when I talk about this, I'm not talking about it lightly. That it's very personal for me. That the question of what do we do, like how do we give thanks in the face of these circumstances, it is very real. And you know, I realize that all of us here, at some point in our life, some of you right now, you have your own slide. You've got your slide with difficult things on it. And I don't know what it is. It could be a broken relationship. Maybe you've been betrayed. Maybe you've been hurt by somebody that you put a lot of trust in. Maybe you've lost someone that you love and you're just overwhelmed with grief right now. Maybe you're facing another month without a job. It could be that you're drowning in debt. And it could be that kind of like I ended up in Turkey, that for whatever reason, you kind of just feel like a nobody today. It could be a combination of those things. I don't know. The other thing is I know that we have kids with us here today. And kids, I know that you guys have problems in your lives too. You know, I realize that for some of you, your family doesn't look like it used to, and that's hard. Maybe you're having like serious problems with other kids. Maybe you're having problems on the team. Maybe you're having problems at school. Maybe you didn't make the team. So each one of us has a different story. But right now, I realize that there's plenty of people in this room that are dealing with something extremely difficult, something that has just come along and knocked the wind right out of you. Life has been very difficult, and it's caused you a lot of deep pain. And I also realize that the last thing that you probably want to hear today is some guy standing up here telling you to be thankful. And I get that. I totally understand. And that is that the Bible tells us to be thankful in all circumstances. And unfortunately, it doesn't give us a list of exceptions. So I guess what do we do with that? Like, how do we really give thanks during our cave experiences? When I was going through my cave experience, the book of Colossians became very meaningful to me. I found encouragement all throughout the book. But today I want to share with you 4 keys that Colossians gives us for being thankful during the hard times. But to illustrate them, I'm going to need some help. And what I need is I need a father-son team. I need the son to be 8 to 10, and I need them quick. We got one? Okay. Can you guys come on up here? And Jeff, what I need is need you to grab a big, strong guy. Grab Ben on your way up. This is an untested illustration, and so we're going to find out how it goes. This isn't what it looks like. I just want you to know. Okay. All right, here's what I need. I'm sorry, what's your name?
Matt.
Matt. All right, Matt, can you stand right here? And Jeff and Ben, you'll be on either side, right here and right here. Okay. And you guys are going to hold this. Matt, did you have turkey for Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
Did you have gravy?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you like gravy?
No.
Okay. This is good. This is good. Okay. Pretend like this is a big pile of hot gravy. Okay? And what you're going to do is you're going to hold on to this, and they're going to lift it up, and they're going to carry you over the gravy. Okay? So here we go. Lift him up, carry him over, set him down. Very good. Okay. You can go back to the other side of the gravy. Oh, no, you just stepped in the gravy. Just kidding. Okay. Now, here's what I want you to do. We're going to change it up a little bit. You're going to do it again, but you can only use these fingers. Okay? All right, here we go. Let's try again. Very nice. All right, come on back. We're going to do it again. We're going to make it harder. Now just these fingers. I'm impressed. Okay. You know what's next, right? Okay, just these fingers. Oh! One more try. Okay. All right. That's exactly what I needed to happen. Thank you. Okay, give him a hand. I'm so glad that worked. You know, I'm not up here. I'm going to tie that in a second. I'm not up here because I did everything right. And I'm not here to give you 4 easy steps to being thankful. But I'm here because I believe that the Bible offers us hope. It offers us a way to hang on to hope. It offers us a way to hang on to gratitude. And what we're going to see is that in response to this question, the 4 answers that Colossians gives us all kind of revolve around one theme, and that is clinging to Christ. Because when life gets hard, and I mean it really hard, all of a sudden we stop thinking about our walk with Christ, and we stop thinking about the growth experience. And we don't really want to hear somebody talk about the journey that we're on. Because when life is really, really hard, we're just trying to hang on. When circumstances are at their worst, we're really just trying to get through another day. And it's everything that we can do to keep our faith from just getting swept away. So in these times, it's essential that we hang on to something that doesn't move, and that we hang on to Christ. But just like Matt showed us, if we try to do it with just a few of these 4 things, and I don't know how many people could cling with 2 fingers. I was very impressed by that. I couldn't do it. But we need all 4. And if we start to try to do it with 3, or with 2, or with 1, it gets really hard, and eventually it becomes impossible. But before we jump in, I want to address some of you here, and maybe a lot of you here, who are actually in a really good place today. And you don't really feel the need for a sermon like this. Maybe you're a little bit curious about what we're going to say, but you're not really feeling it. And I guess what I want to encourage you today is to look at the people around you. Because here, sitting around you, are brothers and sisters who are in the cave. And they are at the bottom. And they need hope. I want you to think about your family that's not here. Think about your neighbors. What I hope is that today you leave with a message that you can give them, the people that need it right now. And it's a message of hope. But I do have a word of caution. And that is that I think that often as Christians, we get ourselves into a lot of trouble when we try to help people that are in the cave. And we get ourselves into trouble because we try to be a fixer. And the thing is, when people are at the bottom, they usually don't need a fixer. But they do need help. And so today I want to encourage you, so the thing is, like, a lot of times we think of ourselves as kind of like the doctor. Maybe we don't think about it, but we act like a doctor. Because we come up to somebody who's in a hard time, and we look at them and we say, okay, I'm going to diagnose the problem, I'm going to prescribe a solution, and then they'll be all better. And very rarely does that ever work. So today, instead of thinking of yourself as the doctor, I actually want you to think of yourself as the ambulance driver. Somebody who comes upon the scene of somebody who has just been emotionally and spiritually devastated, and you pick them up, and you take them as fast as you can before the true doctor, which is God.